Hi Mama, welcome back to Naptime Yoga presented by Solana Wellness. And in honor of spring solstice approaching us, a time where ideas, creativity, thoughts, and life begin to blossom, we are focusing on two places that often hold tension. That is in our shoulders and also in our hips. So let's go ahead and get started before my baby wakes up. We'll start in a child's pose, big toes to touch, knees spread the width of your mat. You're going to lengthen your hands slowly to the top of your mat, fingers spread wide, and just allow your shoulders and your stomach, or your chest rather, to gracefully land on the mat. You can place your forehead on the mat and gently rub it back and forth, left to right and right to left. We'll start just by breathing, inhaling through the nose, pushing your air past the chest, filling your belly up like a balloon, holding for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, push the air out, feeling the warmth as it falls down into your mat. Inhale, hold for 3, for 2, for 1, and then gently exhale. Now with this last inhale, I want you to slightly lift up into your shoulders. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Soften your shoulders down to the mat, pushing your hips closer to your heels. On your next inhale, we'll rise up into a tabletop position. That is shoulders in alignment with wrists, knees in alignment with hips. Feet should be flexed, fingers spread wide, pressing firmly into our mat. We'll inhale cow pose, chin reaches up towards the ceiling, belly drops, tailbone reaches towards the sky. Here we're going to hold for 2 breaths and just firmly press into the mat. One more breath. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your tailbone first. Lift your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll your shoulders inwards. And lastly, tuck your chin into your chest and press firmly into your mat. We'll stay here and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rising back into cow pose, gazing at the front of our mat. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow, rolling those shoulders back. Exhale, cat, arching the spine, pressing deeply into your mat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now we'll flow into our neutral tabletop. That is just belly button sucked into the spine to lengthen your upper back. And just breathe. Now we'll go into a couple hip circles. We'll start with the right. Your hips are going to flow to the right side, back to your heels, and then to the left side. And then push them towards the front. So right, back towards your heel, pressing firmly into your mat. Left, and up to the front. One more time. Right, back to your heels, hips to the left, and then push to the front. Now we'll go to the opposite side. We'll go left, heels, hips to the right, push them to the front. Left, heels, hips to the right, press to the front. One more time. Left, heels, push to the right, push to the front. On your next inhale, go ahead and find a neutral tabletop. Exhale, we'll rise to standing on our knees. Inhale, your right foot will come forward, ensuring that your knee is in alignment with your ankle. Your back foot is going to be the top of the foot down, pressing firmly into the mat. Lift your hands up towards the sky, spinning your pinky fingers in, relaxing your shoulders, and sucking your belly button in to engage your core. Crescent moon. Exhale, modified extended side angle. You're going to rotate your right hand to the ground. Left hand is going to reach up. Now, to find more depth into this pose, you want to bring your gaze towards the ceiling and use your elbow to push on your thigh and open up your hip here. Inhale, modified reverse warrior. Left hand goes to your thigh, right hand reaches up and then towards the back of the room, dropping your shoulder, pushing your hips forward. Exhale, hands are gonna land in front of you at the top of the mat. Your hands should be on the left side of your right foot, fingers spread wide. Heel toe your right foot out so that your toes are pointed to the outside corners of the room, so at a 45-degree angle. You want to create a little space between your back knee and your front knee so you can adjust the back knee to lean back a little further. Now we are in lizard pose. Go ahead, push your shoulders back. You can stay here or you can lower down onto your forearms. You can also have a block in front of you and place your forearms there. We're just going to stay here and breathe. One more breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and press your left hip forward, leaning into the front knee. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale, hip goes forward. Exhale, hips go back. Last time. Inhale, hips go forward. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale, you're going to align your knee back to your ankle. Exhale, tuck your back foot, press your knee up, and you're going to bring your left foot up to the top of your mat to meet your right foot. Both feet are angled towards the opposite sides of the rooms. Elbows are in between your knees, pressing your hips out. Hands are at a prayer position. Also, if you have a block, you can place it underneath you here and sit back. But we'll stay here and breathe. With every inhale, lift your shoulders up. Every exhale, sink your tailbone closer to your mat. Inhale. Whoa. Exhale, soften. One more time, inhale. Exhale, soften. On your next inhale, go ahead and place your hands down on the mat. You're going to push up your hips slightly and transition, bringing your right foot towards the back of the mat, dropping the knee, bottom or top of the foot flat to the mat. You're going to readjust your front foot. Toes are still angled outwards, knee in alignment with your ankle, lizard pose to the left. We'll stay here and breathe, relaxing our shoulders backward. One more breath. And on your next inhale, push your hip towards the front of the room. Exhale. Push your hips backward. Inhale, right hip to the front of the room. Exhale, hips go backwards. This is your last one, so make it your best one. Inhale, hips go to the front of the room. Exhale, hips go to the back. Now on your next inhale, you're going to go ahead and heel toe your foot closer to your hands on the right side of your mat, or the right side of your foot. You're going to place your left hand on the left side of your mat. Using your left hand, you're going to place your weight onto the mat, lift up, and bring your knee just a little bit closer to your front heel. And we're going to rise up through our chest, crescent moon, hands flow to the ceiling, dropping our shoulders, squeezing our abdominals in and pushing our hips forward. We'll stay here and breathe. Softening the shoulders each breath. On your next inhale, breathe in deeply. Exhale, modified extended side angle. Left hand is going to reach to the mat. Right hand is going to reach up. Finding length, you want to pull your right hand up towards the ceiling. Retract your right shoulder and still push that elbow into the thigh to open up the hips. One more breath here. And on your inhale, modified reverse warrior, right hand goes to your thigh, left hand reaches up and then towards the back of the room, extending the spine, lengthening it, and then softening. Exhale, we'll go into our neutral position, knees together. Actually, we're going to place our knees apart, the length of your mat, hands into a prayer position. This will be our central spot. Shoulders back, stomach squeezed in, feet are firmly planted on the mat, pressing and grounding our weight. We'll inhale, exhale, hands flow to the top of the room and lean back, pushing our hips forward, pushing our chest towards the ceiling, and letting our shoulders drop and guide us further. We're going to hold for 2 breaths here. Every inhale, lift your shoulders towards the back of the room. Exhale, push your hips to go even deeper. One more breath here. And exhale. On your inhale, back into our center position. Exhale, twist to the left. Left elbow in alignment with your shoulders will move to the back of the room, squeezing your abdominals in as you twist and gazing towards the back of the room as you exhale. We'll hold for 2 breaths. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Elbow traces your side body till it hits the back of the room along with your gaze. As you inhale, lift your shoulders up. As you exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper, sending your right elbow to the back side of the room. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands flow behind the back, fingers are clasped. Puff up your chest and slowly lower down, forward fold. Shoulders connecting to the mat, hands lifting. Hold and breathe. As you inhale, push your hands out. As you exhale, lift your hands towards the ceiling to find depth in this pose. One more breath here. Inhale, sweep your arms back up to center into a prayer position, and we'll flow through it one more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, back bend, hands flow to the top of the room, and lean back. Pushing your hips forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands go behind the back, puff up the chest, and slowly lower your body down. Pressing up through the hands, and then releasing down to the mat. We'll place our right hand, lengthening to the top of the mat. Adjust if you need to. We've moved around quite a bit. Into our child's pose, back here again. And we'll just stay and breathe. On your next inhale, go ahead and place your right hand over the left. As you inhale, lift your shoulders up. As you exhale, lower them down to the mat. We'll stay here for one breath. On your next inhale, return your right hand to the right side of the mat. Left hand reaches over and gently places on top of the right hand. We'll inhale. Lift those shoulders up. Exhale. Soften down to the mat. Bring your left hand back to the left side of the mat. And as we lay here, just take a moment to yourself. Thank your body for showing up. Nap times can be short, but you made the choice to show up for yourself and show up for your body, and that is commendable. Stay here as long as you need to, as long as you want. Pause the video if you need to. We'll take one more breath here. On your next inhale, rise into a seated position as we close out our mini nap time yoga flow. Whatever's comfortable for you here. I'm just gonna cross my knees. But I like to in practice by inhaling, lifting our hands, exhaling into a prayer position. The light in me sees, honors, recognizes, and appreciates the light in you. Thank you for showing up to class today, but most importantly, thank you for showing up for yourself. As we flow into spring solstice, I know that transitions can sometimes be sticky, challenging, hard, just very unpredictable. But you know what? As long as you keep showing up for yourself, everything will flow into place. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Mama T. This is Solana Wellness, where mindfulness meets motherhood. And I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye.